New at 6:30 this afternoon, a detective with the South Lake Tahoe Police Department gave a training class on what to do in case of an active shooter. Brandon Foos explains the training and why it's so important.
Detective Scott Crivelli has been training people on active shooter situations for a couple years. Wednesday's class in State Line had an audience with people representing businesses.
Active shooter, I think, is all of our responsibility to be trained on these days. It's very scary and very real in this day and age. If you're a large business or a small business, it can happen there. Mental illness is everywhere.
And it's preparation like this that helps people when they're in a dire situation, like an active shooter.
There's nothing wrong with going into a conference or a concert or a baseball game, basketball game, whatever it may be, and it's like something goes down, where am I going to go?
Crivelli says when you're in a situation where there could possibly be an active shooter, you should know your two quickest exits, and in some cases, it could even be a window.
If and when it ever were to happen, your mind has something to think back on in that time of stress, and you won't, freeze, where you can do something to ensure your safety.
He says ideally, you can get away from the danger.
If you're not able to do that and you're forced to hide, just make sure that hiding place is out of the view of the assailant.
The other option people have is to try and stop the attack. Crivelli teaches people to go all out if they decide to do this, but stresses you need to be ready to take a life.
If it becomes that day that you think it's your day to do something and you want to fight back the assailant, just know that you're putting yourself at a serious amount of risk and harm of possible death.
The class is meant to teach people how to react to an active shooter, but it's important people know how to react when law enforcement arrives as well.
Even though you may be a good person, I don't know that yet, so we ask that you are 100% compliant, hands in the air, spread your fingers. You may get handcuffed, you may be placed on the ground.
Covering the story in State Line, Brandon Foos, 2 News.
Crivelli says tourniquets are one of the most simple life-saving tools out there, and they're very easy to use. He recommends businesses buy some and get trained on how to use them.